The Ontario Science Centre acknowledges that we are on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, Chippewa, Anishinaabe nations, Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We are settlers on Turtle Island, and in the spirit of truth and reconciliation, we commit to respect, listen, learn, and support Indigenous peoples with whom we share this land and who have cared for this land since time immemorial.
This video will explore equitable and inclusive classroom STEM experiences that positively impact students. We will examine both the science of bias and evidence-based classroom strategies to promote positive STEM identity development in students of all ages. My name is Julie, and I'm a teacher at Ontario Science Centre. I've been researching and exploring how to implement equity and inclusion-informed experiences in my class. This video was designed by a team of science communicators and educators at Ontario Science Centre. As we embarked on this work, we reflected on our own positionality and identities as they influence our perspectives on STEM education. It may be uncomfortable to reflect on our biases and how they impact the students we work with. But as reflective practitioners, teachers have the opportunity to adapt our instruction to support our students.
As educators, we have the opportunity to break down barriers in STEM. Our students come with diverse identities and previous opportunities. In this video, we think of equity as the choices educators make which can positively impact students marginalized by the dominant worldview in STEM. Science has diverse origins and is an accumulation of knowledge with contributions from people of all racial, ethnic, and gender identities. Major contributions of the 21st century, such as the discovery of the Higgs boson, mapping of the human genome, or the manufacturing of the vaccinations to battle the coronavirus, could not have been achieved without global collaborations. Our pedagogical choices impact students. We have the opportunity to include all voices in our STEM lessons, allowing for more creative, well-rounded, and inclusive outcomes. This ensures the realm of opportunities is kept open to all students, regardless of identity. For example, when the only scientists we mention in class are European, white, or male, this can reinforce the unconscious message to students outside of that identity that they don't belong and that there isn't a future for them in STEM. To teach modern science as though it emerged from solely Western thought is a disservice to our students and the scientific community. I'd like to think there is a future Mae Jemison or Mikio Kaku in my class, but if I never give students the opportunity to see this as a possible path, or teach students that this is a path for others, then I haven't been inclusive in my practice. As educators, it is necessary that we take time to acknowledge our own worldviews and the various privileges we may hold within a given space. We need to understand and acknowledge how our personal biases, whether conscious or unconscious, impact our choices as educators. Our brains play a large role in what informs these choices. For example, in this image, do you see a white triangle? Our brains are always using our prior knowledge and experiences to make sense of new information and situations. These shortcuts help our brain process and keep up with all the information it is constantly receiving. This is why we can be fooled by optical illusions. This is also why we all have implicit biases. These biases can cause us to favor or disfavor things, people, or groups without being aware of it. Everyone has unconscious biases. These are normal human processes. Sometimes these biases can be the complete opposite of our true values and the conscious choices we would make. For evolutionary reasons, we tend to favor in-group individuals, people who have something in common with us. We commonly perceive them as being safe, often despite knowing nothing else about them. Our brains quickly categorize incoming information and use these categories to make snap decisions. Decisions that are so quick that we're not always consciously aware of them. These categorizations can be helpful in our daily lives, but can also lead to stereotypes. This is when we associate a person with a set of traits based on how our brains have classified them. These associations then influence our decision-making and behavior toward members of this group. Implicit biases and stereotypes held by both students and teachers can affect the ability of a student to develop a STEM identity. The good news, our biases do not need to determine our actions. Research has shown that there are steps you can take to reduce unconsciously bringing stereotypes and prejudice into your classroom. Just being aware that as a human being you hold biases that you are not consciously aware of is a great place to start. Now that you know this, you can consciously slow down your decision-making process and evaluate your choices. For example, if you've chosen an image of a scientist to show your class, why did you choose that particular image? Is it the best choice? Our students also hold biases which may manifest themselves into thinking some people are more STEM capable. By purposefully selecting diverse representations and modeling an inclusive worldview, we can help students recognize those who are usually not represented in our curriculum, no matter what age student we work with. This is particularly important in the context of STEM subjects, where the prototypical scientist is often still pictured as working indoors, doing something secret or dangerous, exhibiting slightly eccentric behaviors, and is more often than not white, older, male, and able-bodied. The contributions of Newton and Einstein are inarguably significant, but more recent and modern contributions may spark the interest of students more than those done in the 17th and 20th centuries. By teachers like you sharing stories of the contributions of Black, Indigenous, and people of color, LGBTQ2S+, and people with disabilities, you may open your students to the idea of seeing themselves as STEM capable. This is a crucial role of schools. Of course, recognition is only one dimension of students' identities. In addition to recognition, teachers can choose activities to provide students opportunities to succeed, to build their STEM self-efficacy, and to expand their interests. When we think about how we learn throughout our lives, the periods of high brain growth help educators understand the needs for different types of experiences for students. From birth to 3 years of age, and again during adolescence, the brain experiences rapid brain growth. But around 12 years of age, the brain undergoes neural pruning to increase its efficiency. The connections which are pruned are those that the brain deems less useful, decided by the connections which are least used. While STEM interests can be influenced by out-of-school experiences with peers and family, for students who have had fewer opportunities to engage with STEM outside of school, the classroom provides a crucial opportunity to try new things and support STEM interest. For primary students, providing as many opportunities as possible for them to build synaptic connections will help them build STEM identity. Collaborative hands-on science experiences are not only fun and engaging for students, but help them think like scientists, build science and engineering process skills, and participate in science discourse. Discussing science with peers honors and leverages students' linguistic identities and helps them with sense-making. These hands-on experiences and opportunities to discuss their ideas help students see themselves as STEM capable. This doesn't need to be complicated. These students have been challenged to help an animal get to the top of a mountain by building an inclined plane. The materials are easily accessible, and the challenge provides opportunities for problem-solving, scaffolding, and most importantly, allows them to feel successful and capable as scientists. For junior intermediate students, having opportunities to select problems they are passionate about and being provided a range of tools and experiences to apply to problem solving provides voice and choice that positively impacts their engagement and STEM identity formation. Students can have voice by situating science inquiries in local issues familiar to them. This helps them see relevance beyond the concepts in text and to develop positive science identity as they participate in science and recognize themselves and others as science doers and thinkers. Grade 6 or 7 classes might brainstorm solutions to support sustainable ecosystems in their community by looking at how to manage waste or grow local fresh foods. Grade 8 classes might brainstorm, design, and test solutions to water management issues in their local neighborhood. Designing solutions for problems provides voice and builds agency in their community. Conversely, learning science primarily through worksheets may disadvantage students with less out-of-school literacy opportunities or science experiences. For older students, approaches that focus on providing hands-on opportunities and building conceptual understanding instead of fact recall are ideal. This levels the playing field and does not give an advantage to students who have prior hands-on STEM experience over those who do not. Research suggests some students may have disengaged from STEM prior to secondary, but grade 9 and 10 science educators have an opportunity to shift the landscape if students experience something significant. Given that grade 10 science is the last science course for some students, these courses provide an opportunity for students to see science as relevant in their everyday lives and build science literacy. Strategies mentioned previously to engage in hands-on, student-driven investigations and connect inquiries to students' lives are equally relevant in secondary. You might also engage secondary students in examining the ethics of how science is used in society. For example, in grade 10 cells and systems or grade 11-12 biology, you can explore the bioethics of how HeLa cells are used in medical research without Henrietta Lacks' consent.
Many educators have grown up learning science with a dominant Western worldview. Employing equity and inclusion practices in STEM education has the potential to empower students' STEM identity and capability, to continue learning in science, or to engage in scientific issues that are relevant in their lives and communities. All students benefit from these strategies, but these are crucial for students who have been historically marginalized by the STEM-dominant worldview. We hope that this video and companion resource have inspired you and give you one idea or reflection that can help you to remove barriers for students within your power as an educator.